guys, what we're looking at is Kubota's RTVX 1440 with a convertible bed. It allows you to hold an entire pallet of material in it. So you can pop it down, pull the seat up, so you can go from a 6-passenger with a limited bed to a larger cargo frame. Then you can pull it back in a matter of minutes.
Expensive words in business. That's how we've always done it. If you're here at ConExpo, you're not looking to do things the same old way. Let me show you the
Get your seats back in place and you're back in operation. Now this one has a diesel engine, variable transmission, right?
Yes, diesel engine, hydrostatic transmission, solid as a rock.
This is a Sanye, and whether you're familiar with them or not, you might as well get familiar with them because they are making some mighty bold claims. Right now, they claim they are #1 in the world for the manufacture of heavy excavators. And on top of that, they're claiming that for heavy equipment, period, they are #3 globally. Now, this machine was built in Georgia. There's the sticker right on the side. I don't know exactly what that means. I'm going to guess it's assembled like a giant jigsaw puzzle in Georgia, and that all of the components actually come from China. But we'll look at this a little bit closer and actually get some feedback on how these things operate just in a little bit in this video. We had a bit of a meltdown at ConExpo. What I'm talking about is one of the cards I recorded a lot of footage on of cool equipment completely melted. But there was a guy that flew all the way from New Jersey to Las Vegas just to explain his system because it was important. I thought it was important enough to get it straight from him. And the reason I thought it was so important is there's guys that are spending a lot of money on fuel. I know I spend about 10 grand on fuel and I tax deduct all of it, but there's off-road fuel where the government actually has to reimburse you for it. The average contractor's losing anywhere from $600 to $800 a year giving it to Uncle Sam, and I'm not a fan of giving them any more money than I have to. So without wasting more time, let's jump into the first piece of heavy equipment. Specialist, we got Greg first off. And Greg, this is your baby right here. This is the world premiere of this thing, right?
That's correct.
All right. What makes this special? Because it looks like a CTL, right?
Sure, that's correct.
Okay.
So this is the world premiere of the first massless, fully integrated 3D grade control CTL in the world. So
Greg was very excited about this and went on to talk about it for about another 10 minutes. So I'm going to sum it up for you guys. John Deere now has an integrated dozer control on a compact tracked loader, but they've also done more with this exact track loader. They've cushioned the ride. Let's check out what they've done on the undercarriage to make this a little bit more user-friendly.
But this has our new feature. We call this anti-vibration undercarriage. And so what we're doing here is we're isolating this undercarriage from the frame using mechanisms to soften the vibration that would go typically from a rigid frame undercarriage that's bolted right into the frame. A little example of how the isolation works. So right in between the frame and the track system, you can see how we offer a nice suspension.
So right here, this is how you isolate, okay?
That's correct. One portion of that is connected to the undercarriage, the other portion is directly bolted to the frame. In between that mechanism is rubber isolators that separate out the vibration that you get from originally mounted undercarriage.
All right, you guys, do me a favor and keep an eye on that mini excavator. That's my buddy Trevor. He was actually called in at the last minute to perform in this show because the regular team couldn't show up. Now, I stopped by the Sanye booth and they're making some really bold claims. They say they're #1 in the world for heavy excavators, and globally for construction equipment, they're #3 in sales. And this was a company started by two dudes in a welding shop in China in 1998, and now they're just growing by leaps and bounds. But let's actually get a little feedback from Trevor of his first impressions with it.
Of the day. We would love for you to join us again, so come back to see us at 3 o'clock. I promise you won't be disappointed. Now go have some fun in Vegas.
Good job, Trevor. Hey,
Awesome work.
you run, have you ran these before?
Sannies?
Yeah.
No.
What do you think of it then?
my honest opinion,
Yeah.
the Mini's really slow.
So that's pretty cool. I love it when the actual guy that's in the show gives his honest opinion of it.
Yeah.
That's huge. But that doesn't mean it's a bad machine
No.
by any means. It
No.
just means like it's a little bit slower. But remember, these guys are paying a lot less for this piece of equipment.
Yeah, I mean, you ran Kubotas, I'm sure, and
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I don't know. That's all I grew up on.
Yeah.
Bobcat, not my thing either.
No, Bobcat excavators aren't.
Yeah, no, I don't know. I don't like Bobcat excavators, but
Okay.
it's probably because I just don't operate them that much, and people are used to those. Just like Volvos are different, and you know everything else. They all have their own operating
Well, how did
style.
they find you then?
Sandy?
Yeah.
Steel wrist.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because
Yeah, you were at the Steel Wrist booth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is my actual badge here.
Thanks, Trevor.
Yeah.
Good job out there, buddy.
See you guys.
All right, guys, we're going to jump over to the Rototilt booth and check them out. But I was thinking about doing a 3-part series where we look in depth at Rototilt, we look in depth at Encon, and we also look at Steel Wrist. They're all tilt rotators, but it's 3 separate companies competing for your business. And when you're looking at a $40,000 to $140,000 attachment, it might be interesting to find out what these guys are doing to set themselves apart and be better than their competition. If that's something that interests you guys, tell me in the comments down below and I'll put those videos together. So if I'm understanding this right, these guys are paying taxes, road tax, on off-road fuel, and the government needs to directly reimburse them every single penny that they pay into that. Is that right?
That is correct. So anytime you use that off-road, fuel for off-road use, you shouldn't be paying a tax on that. The great example I always use for landscapers, I grew up on a farm, so we use tons of diesel. Every time I went to the gas station, put gas in that little red tank,
Yep.
or that 5-gallon red tank, that is money you should be getting back because it's not going in your truck for on-road use. It's going for off-road use.
Or how
So you
about
should be
how about that?
paying money back.
How about that 100-gallon bulk tank in the back of their trucks? That's where they're really going to be getting
yeah.
some money.
Yeah.
So a quick question for you. What is the average that a guy could expect to get back by using Fuel Cred, right? That's the name of your organization's Fuel Cred? Okay.
Yep. We were a farmer and we used tons of diesel. We would get about $2,500 back annually. And now that is real money, right? It's not a deduction. This is $2,500 back from the government. So it really depends on your industry, but for landscaping, it's around $1,000.
Okay, and so you're doing what kind of a coupon code for these guys, John? You said you're doing, what, 10% or what was it? I don't know.
Yeah, so we're going to give 80% off to all your subscribers. Usually it's about $100 to get the form, right? But we're actually going to give 80% off. So it comes out to around, I think, actually $14.99, so more than 80% off. They just have to use the code DM in our app.
Oh, wow. Okay, that's cool. Well, all right. Thanks, John. By the way, I just recorded this call.
I picked that up halfway through it.
Okay.
All right, guys, I'm with Andrew, right?
Yes.
You're the project manager for this?
I'm the product case wheel loader marketing manager for Case Construction, here showcasing as far as Project Tetra. Now, Project Tetra was first unveiled last year in Bauma in 2019, and it makes its debut here at Con Expo to allow us to get more feedback from customers to better understand the viability of this technology for the North American market.
I'm going to jump in here because I'm not sure what I do during this interview, but somehow I end up rattling this guy's cage to the point where the managerial staff comes over to me after the interview. I'll give you a few snippets of the interview, and if you want to see the entire thing, let me know in the comments down below, but let's jump back into checking out this concept payloader.
What this features, this is a 230 horsepower methane wheel loader. Methane.
I don't know why it's not used more often besides the fact that it's a highly unstable fuel source and very few people are willing to take the risk in trying to utilize that because it's so volatile in nature.
Well, and that would be probably a misconception, because when you look as far as what Project Tetra could features, right? Methane engine, this is proven real-world applications. We've benefited from over 7 years of research, development, and testing from our agricultural brand New Holland, who's running tractors right now powered on methane. We also have the benefits from our engine company, FPT Industrial, that has produced over 40,000
natural gas engines, 28,000 of which are in operation today via Iveco.
What's the deal with the tires?
Tires, these are airless concept tires from Michelin. These are much lighter in weight, which only contributes to the efficiency of the overall machine.
What are they made out of? They look like they're made out of plastic.
Like as I said, these are a concept tire, right? Of a poly material.
Okay.
The concept of here that they will provide more stability, more durable, have more and with less wear and tear.
Has there ever been a single hour put on these tires in testing so
Yes.
that you guys know if you're going to go into? I mean, it looks like a really cool model, but I don't know what is actually we'll ever get.
When you
Guys, we're going to skip over some of this. It was about a 6-minute conversation that didn't go the way we had hoped to, but let's check out these tires.
They don't look real. All right, guys. This is a forestry mulching, specialized forestry mulching machine, and actually you're the guy that builds and designs these, right?
Yes, right. This is a family business with my bro. We are the two owners, and this is a French product.
And so that's actually your name on it. Can you tell me about some of the specs on it? I know you've got 3 steer modes on this thing, right?
3 steer wheel mode, two wheel steer, and the crab mode.
The crab mode.
But the essential on this machine is the big access on all the components.
Oh, so that's what makes this
You
unique?
leave the cab, you have a big access, you have plenty of place on the hydraulic distributor, on all the components, and it could be easy to solve a problem when you have plenty of place.
Okay, so if you have an issue, you got good accessibility, and you also run a Volvo power plant. How many horsepower does that pump out?
This is a 320 Volvo Penta engine. This is a TAD8.
All right, and this is coming. You don't have dealers in the United States yet, except for one, right?
Yes, yes.
In Texas. Okay, so if you guys are looking for one, you can find it in Texas, or where else would they find? You got a website?
Yes.
What is it?
This is Lynn Hendricks equipment.
All right, very good. Thanks, Maureen. Appreciate it.
All right, guys, here's a sneak peek at an event that I thought was basically the coolest at the entire show. This was the show Steeler. And I'm thinking about putting this whole video together on this thing, but the problem is they used music behind it that I can't put on YouTube. It's copyright protected, so that would mean I'd have to go through the entire video, try to scrub out all of the music, replace it, plus the dialogue. So I don't know if you guys are even interested in it. Let me know if you are in the comments down below. And that's our video for today. God bless. Go get him, you guys. And hopefully we'll see you on the next one. Have a good one, you guys.